Hey, it's Panzerkunst here, and before we get into the replay of the battle, I wanted to showcase. I just wanted to compare the stats of the ME209 versus the Spitfire, so you can see kind of what I was up against during the battle. So this is a Tier 5 German light fighter that sacrifices everything for speed. You can go fast, you can get anywhere you need to be, but your gun and your turn rate is so horrible that it's really hard to use it in battle. So first things up, I want to compare is the gun armament. This pumps out 127 damage, while this one does Spitfire does 280. So he does over double the damage I can do. So going head to head will not end up well for me. And his distance on his 20s, as it'll come up in the video, is 680, and mine is only 600. So he has all the advantages over me in the firepower department. Survivability, I only have 160 hit points, it's basically nothing. Whereas Spit has 210, 50 more, and he's more resistant to damage. So any sort of head-to-head, he could just outlast me. So I have to avoid all that. Speed, this is where I have the advantage. 470 and 760 versus 350 and 600. And his max dice speed is 680. So at any given point, I'm probably going to be going 100 to 150 kilometers faster, and my top speed is over 200 faster. So you'll see how I use that advantage to get away in the replay. Maneuverability, and this is where the 209 is abysmal. 12 seconds, and with fully special, I have it specialized, but I don't have all the equipment on it. You could probably get it down to under 8 seconds. So it takes me 50% longer to turn. So there's no way you ever want to get in a turning battle with a Spitfire. And he operates at way slower speeds than I do here. So if I slow down, I'm dead basically. And lastly, altitude. I can get up to a maximum optimal altitude of 1800 meters, ceiling of 38, and his is 1232. So the only way I can use this to my advantage is if I get the Spitfire to come up to play with me at these starting altitudes. But as a good Spitfire, he never goes up there. He stays in his bracket to bring me down. So it was a good battle. It was a good one-on-one, kind of like a chess match. And let's get right into it so you see how I apply all of these advantages and disadvantages that I have. Alright, so here's the battle. It's Tier 5. There's 2 command centers and a garrison in the center. And as you can see, the specialized Spitfire, that's the pilot I'm going to be going against. So at a Tier 5 match, I'm going to be the fastest plane in this game. And I started out just by going to the left command center, and I wanted to get altitude to make a diving attack to start off. So I'll go ahead and see how we do here. Coming in an attack, and right away I see the Spitfire. So I'm gonna see. All right, let's size each other up. We'll make a quick pass, but I don't want to go head to head as I mentioned. I climb up, and I want him to chase me, so he can stall, and then I can make a loop. But as you can see, he breaks off. So the fact that he breaks off, my speed and altitude are kind of thrown out the window. If I don't have that, I don't have the firepower or the turning ability either. So I'm coming down, I want to make an attack, and I think he notices that. And he does this slow turn, and I start firing. And he's going around, trying to dodge. And then right here, he does this slow looping turn to get on my tail. So this could have been a very big mistake on my part. I didn't expect that. So you see how he does this very slow turn, and right away, boom, he's on my tail. And since I went this way, I fell directly in line with what he's doing. If I would have went to the left, he wouldn't be in an easy position to attack. So when this happened, I knew this wasn't going to be easy. He's not letting me get any of the advantages that I want. But at the same time, if you look at my hit points, I have 147, and I'm going at 600. He's going really slow. So I go so fast that he doesn't even have a chance to take 1 hit point away. Okay, look at the distance. 200. I'm well within his range. But I'm just going so fast. Look, I'm going almost 700 kilometers per hour. he can't hit me, and then he breaks off. But when you're doing these boom and zoom attacks, sure you have the speed and you could get away, but each time you do it, you lose your boost and you lose the speed or energy that you have. So at one point you can't do it anymore. We take another, we go, and I avoid the head-to-head there. We both kind of avoid it. So yeah, if I keep doing these boom and zoom attacks, eventually I'm gonna be at a point where I don't have enough speed to fully get away. So I can do this all day, but if he keeps doing those things to avoid, there's really nothing I can do. There's no advantages I can take because he's not giving me anything. So they take that, they took the other one. I'm thinking, alright, let's get the center, but they took the center. So what's the easiest thing to do? Go right back to where they just took it, because whoever capped it's going to be leaving, right? So I talk about my altitude. So I'm flying kind of on the outskirts of the base. I want him to chase me. I want him to chase me high where I have the advantage. I don't want to be fighting down here on the deck with him. So I'm trying to bait him. And remember I talked about the distance on the guns? I'm keeping that in mind. So I know he has a base 680 range on his 20s. He could have the equipment for elongated barrels. It can go up to maybe, I don't know, 30%, so maybe like 730, 740. So I'm keeping that in mind. Keeping him just close, and when I see he's getting closer, I pull away. I see he's firing, but there's no way he's gonna hit. So at this time, I feel really good because I see our zero coming in, and the fact that he went out of the base to chase me, now it's 2 versus 1. Now he has to deal with 2 of us. So I feel pretty good about this. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna. And they got superiority, but I make an attack and he faces me. So while he's fighting this zero, he still faces me. He doesn't fully ignore me. So that's good on his part. He's basically fighting 2 against 1 and staying alive. So I have to give him credit for that. And he does the same thing. He sends a bot on me. But in my head I'm thinking, alright, a zero can outturn a Spitfire. Our zero should be able to defeat him. And I'm trying to get some distance away from this P-43 before I turn around. So hopefully we can get this cap and try to do something in this battle. I'm like, oh well, I'm wondering what's taking so long. Why isn't he? And he's dogfighting. This guy is dogfighting pretty hard. And look, he takes out a big chunk of the zero. And I'm like, man, like I thought he should have been dead already. We should have this cap already, and I should be trying to do something else. But the fact that he was able to stay alive, you know, just kept it alive, kept him in the game. But now he's hurt. He's wounded probably. He's trying to do something here. He doesn't see me coming from far away maybe. But I was able to get him here. But it was out of the zone. But luckily this bot isn't as difficult as that pilot because he just stays straight at me. Makes it easy kill. So I'll just forward it to the better part. So we end up getting this. So now I'm thinking, alright, let's go to the center. Let's slowly try to get back into this game.
Back to command center. Be cautious.
So you're able to get up here at altitude, you're able to attack the heavies. But once you're here, see how long it takes? And at this moment, or close to this moment, I see the little diamond on the mini-map. And of course, who is it? He's coming right back. So I don't see him right away. I'm like, alright, let's get the next heavy fighter. And then I see him. At this moment, I'm like, oh man, most people when you kill him, they go right back to where you were because they want revenge. But he didn't do that. I would have expected him to go over there to try to get that back, but he came to the center. So he fooled me again. And I noticed that right away. If I was to just try to attack this bullfighter here, he would have me easily. But I see him and I'm able to react and I dive away. That's my only defense right now. He's shooting, he can't hit me. I'm going 800 kilometers per hour and he breaks off. So I know this is gonna be a really tough battle, really tough fight here.
The enemy is about to win. Push harder.
So it's 300 to 69. Nothing's going right in this battle. I have under 2,000 personal points. I might as well be a bot. So I'm thinking I just gotta try to get over here and get this cap. So I'll forward this a little bit. We end up killing one guy, another one dies, blah blah blah, we get this cap. So now I'm like, okay, if we get this, we can get superiority and we can win. So my main focus is trying to get this cap here.
Hang in there. You'll soon be cut off.
He's attacking the ground attack plane there. And I'm trying to make another attack, but he just turns. He avoids it, so I can't turn with him. I have to keep extending out. And now I tried to bait them again. Since I can't make a, I can't loop around, I can't really fight that way. They're gonna defend this. If they defend this for a few more seconds, we're gonna lose. So I want to get them out of the cap. I want to get their attention. Like, hey, come get me. I'm the one that you want to kill. Look, I'm on low health, and it actually works. I'm flying. I'm baiting them, and they're both chasing me. The Spit and the Zero. So see, I bought my team a few seconds, right? They break off, but our bombers are able to attack. So even though I'm not attacking them directly, I'm trying to get them away so our team can do something. So that's how you have to fight in this plane. You have to fight indirectly. It's a support, it's just not the most competitive plane out there. But I see we need 60 points left, and I see a 0. So I'm like, this is my chance. I need to get to 0. We're going to get superiority. We're going to win. This is it. And... oh, are you kidding me? 16? And this just shows the firepower. Maybe if I would have been shooting earlier, I could have got him. But in not too much, long of a pass, any other tier 5 light fighter could have got this guy. But with this plane, I couldn't even get him in one pass, and I'm hoping he's on fire. He's not, and I'm like, oh my god, we're gonna lose. Look, we got a few more seconds. Please turn. I'm turning. I'm stalling out. I'm just like, come on. Yes. And look at that. I sacrificed everything to try to get that 0. Oh, this is pretty cool. So I'm basically in a very bad spot, but they're all down there. And I'm thinking, all right, we're going to win the game now. I didn't do that much, but the little I did do, I won the game for us. And I'm not really going to bother with him now because there's nothing I can do against him. And then I noticed they have bombers on the cap, and I'm like, I'm just hoping that this could survive that bombing run. See, I run away? There's no way he can catch me. But he breaks off and does something else. And then there's a bomber there. I'm like, please, please. We just need to maintain the superiority. I don't really know what to do here. I'm like, what do I do? I'm just kind of hoping, and sure enough, they get it. And this pretty much sums up the ME-209B4. We end up losing here.
Attention.
So, and I just thought this was a good battle to show. It's like, it just comes up short. Sure, you're fast and everything, but it always comes up just a little short. So, in showcasing this battle, I also basically reviewed it a little bit. So I'll go into this next photo here to show this little scale I have and where I review planes. So in conclusion, I like to give every plane a rating out of the 4 essential elements or categories that I think are the most important. First is altitude, the second is speed, the third is firepower, and the fourth is turning or maneuverability. So first one, altitude, gets a 5 out of 5. Nothing can really fly higher than you, only some heavies. Speed, 5 out of 5. You are the fastest thing in any tier 5 match, and most likely even some tier 6 matches. So that's awesome. Firepower and turn, I'm going to have to give it a 0. Because although you're fast and you can get places, you can't do anything once you're there. What good is it for you to fly at 3,000 meters when everyone else is at 1,500. You know, it's not too usable in the tier 5 game, and it just takes too long to kill things. So on the left there, you kind of see the legend of where the scores fall under, and I really wanted to call this plane garbage because it kind of is, but I can't discount the fact that the altitude and the speed are the best. So it gets a rating of a 10, which falls under the category of meh, which kind of is, and it's not something I would recommend for anyone to go out and get or to try to grind credits or experience in. This kind of something like a meme plane if you just want to fly it at 800 kilometers per hour while everyone is at 500. It's kind of funny to just run away from people, but not something that you can really carry in or really do a lot of work in. So that was my kind of mini review of the ME209 under the Kunstler scale. Just gets meh, and as you can see, when you run into other Spitfires, it gets pretty tough. So that was it. See you guys next time.